Good evening, live at the Apollo. My name's Ivo. I'm going to tell you a few things about myself. Let's start off with the big news. I've got Amazon Prime. Not sure how many of you are currently riding the Amazon Prime wagon. It's a hell of a wagon to ride, living the next day delivery dream. What a thrill. Or at least it was, for the first month. You know how it is. Just meant to be a bit of fun before Christmas, really, but forgot to cancel the trial in time. Now I'm trapped. Walking around every day with an Amazon Prime subscription I neither want nor need. The world's shittest superpower. Going up to strangers in the street. Do you need anything? Tomorrow. It can be arranged. But people are jealous. My flatmate, he tried to muscle in on my Amazon Prime action. He said, I need a book quite urgently. Would you mind ordering it for me off your account? I said, yeah, sure. Why not? Spread the love. But then overnight, I had a bit of a change of heart. Thought to myself, you know what? No. My Prime privileges are not something to be bandied around willy-nilly. I've paid my money. I didn't mean to, but I have. I've joined an exclusive club, and it's not for me to bail out the muggles. So that book arrived the following morning, and I kept it in my possession for another 2 to 4 working days. So I'm an extremely petty man. What else can I tell you about myself? I've got a girlfriend. That's very exciting. Yes. Or at least it was for the first month. You know how it is. Just meant to be a bit of fun before Christmas, really, but forgot to cancel the trial in time. Now I'm trapped. I'm joking. I'm extremely grateful. I was a very late starter to the whole world of sex and relationships. I remember there was a bet amongst my group of friends at school that I would be the guy in the group who would not have sex until after they left school. To most people, that's an insult. To me, very much challenge accepted. I took those expectations, and I surpassed them, but at length an additional educational establishment. Not ashamed of that. Tried to turn it into something I'm sort of proud of, like a sort of modesty top trump. Obviously, I'm well aware that age of virginity loss, not an official category in most official top trump sets, but I like to imagine that it is. Because if you had this guy, your opponent would need to be packing some pretty strong Christians or he'd be going home. Most exciting times for me as a teenager, going to parties and my holidays. Usually about 1 party a year just to keep my hand in. I wasn't invited by girls my own age, no. I was invited by their mums, who in turn were asked to do so by my mum. My mum was like my agent back in the day. A popular mum on the East Wiltshire social scene. And some of that popularity trickled down. And I'd go to these parties and I'd be a hit, not with the girls my own age, but with their mums. Because the mums trusted me. They knew what they were getting from the other boys at their daughters' parties, getting red wine stains in the carpet and sexually transmitted infections. Not from this guy. They knew what they were getting from me. Box of Quality Street at the start of the night, a hand with a washing up after dinner, and a thank you letter in first-class post the following day. I don't like to boast too much on stage, but I'm not ashamed to say that I write a fucking good thank you letter. All the trimmings, ink, fountain pen, vellum, parchment paper. One crazy summer, even experimented with a wax seal. The overheads were too crippling in the end, but it was a hell of a summer, I can tell you. It's a disappearing art in the digital age, the old-fashioned thank you letter. I loved it, the formality of it. Writing my address in the top right-hand corner, just in case any of the mums wanted to write back. They never did, but I gave them the option. The date underneath, the classic 6-figure date formation, day, month, year. Unless it was an American family, obviously, in which case, still day, month, year, because they must learn. Changing the world one letter at a time. Sometimes I was so keen to get started on my thank you letter, I'd start it while still at the party itself. Usually in the late hours of the night, a schism would occur. Everyone else would be next door, playing spin the bottle or strip poker. I'd be on my own, at the desk, bashing out the first draft, deciding whether or not to dedicate an entire paragraph to the Viennetta. I went to university and things got more exciting at university. There were girls there, I became friends with them, sometimes good friends. I was often told by my female friends that I would make a great boyfriend. Ah, these females and their addiction to the hypothetical tense. When will they have the courage to turn these theories into a reality? Sure, a few of us here have been told that we would make great boyfriends or great girlfriends. One of those compliments which loses its appeal quite quickly, I think. Like being told by your computer that you have excellent password strength. Eventually, the compliment wears off. I know I've got a good password. How about a bit more attention to my banging secret question? The real jewel in the crown. An entire childhood spent misleading people about who my best friend was, specifically with this in mind. At university, stopped being about going to parties, started being about going to clubs. I'm not having a go at clubs. As an adult now, I quite enjoy going to clubs. I go quite often. I'm an absolute slave to the rhythm. But, back in the day, very nervous. And never more nervous than the first time it was proposed that we travel to London specially for a club night. I remember consulting the itinerary that afternoon, saying, guys, I've seen when our train gets in, and when the last train home departs. That's going to afford us about 45 mins max of boogie time. What's going on? To which I received a truly chilling response. The guy said, oh no, you've got it wrong. Not the last train home tonight. First train home in the morning. Does anything send more of a shiver down the spine of a nervous debut clubber than that? You guys know how UK train tickets work. That's going to exceed the remit of our same-day return. There's no next-day return. It's being asked to stump up for an open return. Commit to a potential month of clubbing. A month spent at the O2 Academy Brixton, me and 3,000 of South London's rudest boys. As I found out, I was entered my second hour of holding the door open for them. Listening to drum and bass, a genre I thought I would enjoy. I quite enjoy bands without a guitar player. Thought we'd be listening to something like Keane. But there were no other Keane fans in the O2 Academy Brixton that night. Or at least none others wearing the official band T-shirt. It was a night of crime. People were breaking into the venue without tickets. People were smoking indoors. People were doing drugs in the loos. Not having a go at any of these things. We've all broken the rules at some point in our lives. I once sold multi-pack cans of Coke individually at a church fete. Made a sweet, sweet £4 profit off my mum's friend Yvonne. We're all going to hell. Got no objection to it. I was often told by my friends at university that I would make a great drug taker. But I wasn't partaking in any illegal activities that night. However, despite this, I was mistaken on the dance floor, not just for a drug taker, but for a drug dealer. Man caught me rubbing my gums, misunderstood the situation, approached me, attempted to make a purchase. There's no lure moment in his life. You have to explain to a potential client that what you're applying is not, in fact, MDMA, but Bonjela. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an absolute privilege. Thank you so much for having me. I've been Ivan Graham. Goodbye.